Dalavina guia dolosana angito talitakini anavarong ng Bula FM at Golden Point Resort basendo nambando ana here binaka.
Bula binaka na adang ko tevita utunggoy 90 ando talitaka wale warong ng Bula FM nambando ana sir.
Nadang ko makilesi werkraki NSB ng Bula FM nambando ana sir.
Hello nga ratu kitchen ng Gatabo ando talitaka na warong ng Bula FM nambando ana sir ngo lusu.
Bula FM nambando ana sir.
Good evening, this is FBC News. I'm Jackie Spade. Tonight, Consumer Watchdog confirms no shortage of locally produced vegetables. Tourism Minister says Fiji is still open for business. And coastal villages in Ovalau want to relocate. Strong evidence is emerging that the huge hike in vegetable prices is not as thought of earlier due to a decrease in supply, but because of profiteering. FBC News has established that two of Fiji's main vegetable providing areas of Valley Road, Singatoka and Navua have suffered almost zero damage to crops, and the recent price hikes are not justified. Shireen Shivan has more on the rise of retail greed.
It was just days after Cyclone Winston that the steep hike in the price of local fruits and vegetables were first noticed, sometimes 5 times the normal price.
And we've seen in some cases the prices are exorbitant and unbelievable.
The Consumer Council has confirmed FBC's suspicion that some farmers and middlemen are engaged in rampant profiteering, even though high vegetable producing areas were not affected.
In the Central Division, which was least affected, where some of these farmers are producing fruits and vegetables in their backyard garden and they're selling on the roadside, they've also increased the price. We've also seen price increases in Singatoka and Navua, which were again not affected.
Chief Executive Premila Kumar says it's shameful that while people in cyclone-ravaged parts of Fiji are struggling, unaffected market vendors are trying to cheat consumers.
Also made our own little check by calling people in Singatoka area, in Navua area, to establish how big the damage was and whether really the prices of fruits and vegetables have gone up.
Vegetable importer Rakesh Kumar of Jet Set Express Limited says because of the huge price increase of local produce, his business has increased significantly.
Supply from overseas, there is no problem. The demand is high here. And there's nothing we can import everything what we can do.
Kumar says there is no shortage of fruits and vegetables that he can import from Australia and New Zealand. Meanwhile, many families since TC Winston have resorted to processed or canned food, which is ironically a cheaper alternative to high-priced fresh local produce. The council says the public can report the guilty vendors to the Fiji Commerce Commission and has called on the profiteers to stop being greedy at the expense of the poor in Fiji. Shireen Shivan, FBC News.
$10.2 million has been paid out to members of the Fiji National Provident Fund for Tropical Cyclone Winston rehabilitation. Chief Operating Officer Chochi Karoi confirms 80,000 applications have been lodged, of which 10,000 have been approved. Savara Tambua has more details.
Large crowds have been turning up to the Fiji National Provident Fund since TC Winston assistance was announced, and staff have been working long nights to process applications.
Bulk of the work, the challenge has been how we manage the crowd as they come in, the front end of the process, in terms of managing the queues and the lines and so on. As of today, I think that has now been slowed down a bit. The biggest challenge for us now is the processing at the back end. We're resourcing all our efforts to ensure that we are able to fast-track this processing time.
Applications in the last week alone have exceeded the total withdrawals for the whole of 2015.
It is quite significant in terms of the quantum of applications that we received. Compared to the full 12 months last year, FNPF received only 65,000 applications. That's in the 12 months throughout the year. In the last 1.5 weeks, we have received 80,000 applications.
The FNPF estimates the total applications as of today amount to about $80 million. All funds have been deducted from members' general accounts, which allow for withdrawals under certain circumstances. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.
A series of public relation campaigns will be launched by Tourism Fiji to reassure tour operators and wholesalers that Fiji remains open to all visitors. The Tourism Action Group, or TAG, has a set number of short-term strategies to draw in visitors following the destruction caused by Tropical Cyclone Winston 3 weeks ago. Madhyam Bolaitamana files this report.
Tourism Action Group Chair Damen Gaunda has laid out the figures on the decline in visitor arrivals post-tropical cyclone Winston.
They lost 850 direct cancellations, and these were cancellations that were made directly with Fiji Airways. Of course, there are cancellations that are made via travel agents, and that would have been a couple of days later. They've also reported that they had about 1,900 cancellations just in the month of February.
Since TAG was activated last week, Gaunda says they've spoken to wholesalers and travel agents in the short-haul markets, and the response has been encouraging.
Executive Chair of the Tourism Fiji was in the meeting with us, and he has committed the full support and of TF, and also the realignment of many of his branding, television ads, etc., towards a unified, one message, one voice type of campaign.
Gaunda and a number of the tourism industry executives leave for Australia today to hold meetings with wholesalers in Brisbane and Sydney. Fijian sporting heroes have also been roped into the PR campaign.
Nandolo, the Crusaders player and very popular. He's assisting us in spreading the word about tourism.
Visitors already enjoying the Fiji experience have also given the thumbs up.
The clean-up's been terrific, it's been quick, it's beautiful. I definitely recommend everybody.
Absolutely beautiful. A few trees knocked over and that, but it's definitely worth coming. I'd suggest it to anyone.
With the information given by the tourism industry to wholesalers abroad, the hope is that plane seats will be filled as we anticipate the influx of visitors in the country. Madhyam Bolaitamana, FBC News.
Tourism Minister Fayaz Koya is also confident about the industry pulling through with minimal impact. Koya says a number of factors work in our favour. No jobs have been lost in the tourism sector following Tropical Cyclone Winston, and a majority of hotels and resorts have come out unscathed.
As a matter of fact, the resorts, currently there's 99% of the resorts are back up and running. So Fiji is open for business in terms of the tourism industry. We probably had a little bit of a dip just straight after the cyclone.
Tourism Minister Fayaz Koya says it was fortunate that the cyclone came in the midst of a lull in visitors and that none of them were injured in any way. Tourism Action Group Chair Damen Gaunda also confirms that resorts have bounced back quickly.
Resorts in the Mamanuca areas, the Coral Coast and the Nandi area are operational. Business is as usual, that's what the reports are saying, and that's what we have seen. So our job is to go through this massive news and exposure of the devastation in Fiji to try and go to the tourists and to say, yeah, we are open and we need your support.
The Tourism Ministry has also leaped into action, supporting efforts by the industry to push the message that Fiji is still a pristine holiday destination.
TAG is actually doing as much as it can, and also Tourism Fiji in terms of marketing and making sure that the message goes out that we are open for business, and in terms of tourism, we're still a fantastic, happy, wonderful destination to come to.
Tourism is Fiji's largest employer and largest revenue earner, accounting for 34% of our annual GDP. Still to come, Solomon Islands donates to Tropical Cyclone Winston relief efforts.
Yandra! I love listening to Gold FM at Golden Point Resort. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Hola, my name is General from Vancouver. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic.
I'm Moses from Valeu. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Marida Manako. I'm from Kandavu. I like listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Tilipa from Tavo Town. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. A 26-year-old man who was electrocuted in Lautoka on the 28th of last month has died from his injuries. Livo Nyambo was an employee of a private electrical company contracted by the Fiji Electricity Authority to repair fallen power lines. Nyambo was working at Natambua Housing in Lautoka when he came into contact with live electrical cables. Teachers from Queen Victoria School who don't turn up at their newly assigned schools from Monday won't be paid. Education Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy is adamant that any decision on reopening cyclone-damaged schools is the ministry's prerogative. Savara Tambua has more.
Despite growing objections from teachers at Matabatu, though, the Education Ministry won't change its decision on the closure of the School, which suffered extensive damage during TC Winston.
No, it's up to them. If they want to be paid, so they should work from today. If they don't want to pay, they don't want to take 2 days leave without pay, they're okay. They don't appear, don't report to their new workstation by Monday, so they'll lose this week's pay. But 5 consecutive days, they'll be deemed to have resigned.
Dr. Reddy is firm that influence from outside parties, including the school alumni, will not sway his decision. QVS All Boys Association President Anna Sapodia says he and other former students will continue to push for the school's reopening.
The discussion with the minister was that the school would be closed for a few months while repairs are being carried out. But no, that will not stop us from trying to convince him if we could find a site where all the kids could be taught.
A group of teachers turned up at the government buildings in Suva yesterday to urge the Prime Minister Vorengem Bainimarama to reopen QVS. They were told to take the matter up with the Education Minister. Sabaira Tambua, FBC News.
Many of the coastal villages on Ovalau want to relocate after facing the full brunt of tropical cyclone Winston. The request was made to the Prime Minister Vorengem Bainimarama during his recent visit to the island. Ali Kimbia has more.
People living along the coast in Ovalau are afraid that another cyclone like Winston could wipe them out. Voma village has no option but to relocate.
When big waves came surging into our village during the cyclone, we are afraid to stay here now. We have decided that it's time for us to move somewhere else that is safe for us, especially our children.
Prime Minister Vorengem Bainimarama has told people on Ovalau that there are plans to relocate villages as the government wants to ensure the safety of all Fijians.
The government is doing all it can to ensure that houses are rebuilt and students to be assisted in getting to school, and we will try our best to restore lives to where it was before Winston.
Minister for National Disaster Management Inesuri Ratu says they will respect the choices people make, but any relocation will be for the benefit of island communities at risk from natural disaster. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
The Solomon Islands has donated $1.2 million towards the Prime Minister's Disaster Relief Fund today. Prime Minister Manasseh Songavare presented the funds to his counterpart Vorengem Bainimarama this morning. Ellen Stalls has more.
Solomon Islands Prime Minister Manasseh Songavare says he and his people stand with Fiji and are ready to assist.
What affects Fiji affects the entire region, and so it's not in the interest of the region that Fiji is adversely affected.
Songavare held a lengthy meeting with Prime Minister Vorengem Bainimarama and later met with Foreign Affairs Minister Ratuinoke Kumbombola. He also broached the issue of human rights violations in West Papua.
All right-thinking people of planet Earth should be able to be able to express concern when a race is actively persecuted.
Sangavara is also the chair of the Melanesian Spearhead Group, and discussions included changes to keep the MSG relevant.
That we may need to look at reviewing the structure of a MSG secretariat and review some of the work plans and that. But
the Prime Minister and Foreign Affairs Minister Ratuinoke Kumbombola held talks on common issues, both regionally and internationally. Ellen Stolz, FBC News.
Ben Padarath has been sentenced to 25 months imprisonment for giving false information to a public officer. Padarath pleaded guilty in the Suva Magistrates Court. He gave false information to the Immigration Director, Major Nemani Vuniwanga, with the intention of having one Paul Freeman put on the immigration watch list. Padarath must serve a minimum of 16 months before parole. Digicel Fiji will take over operations of Sky Pacific from next month. With the telecommunications company granted a special broadcast license, Chief Executive Darren McLean says the challenge now is to build a business. Maggie Boyle with the story.
Having received a 12-year license to operate Sky Pacific's subscriber television service, Digicel Fiji CEO Darren McLean points out that they're not novices in the broadcast industry.
We have a TV business across the region. We have a significant pay TV service in PNG. We've been operating TV in Tonga for some time. In fact, every Digicel market in the Pacific, and there are 6 now, will have a pay TV service this year. So when you put that alongside the other businesses we have in other parts of the world, we have access to some great content.
Digicel's TV license comes with conditions: no advertising and no local content on any paid channel.
We've had a long time now to do a lot of research on what customers want and like and maybe don't like so much. So we're not going to reveal just yet exactly what the content changes are, but suffice to say that we understand that some changes are required.
With close to 20,000 subscribers, McLean says one of their priorities in the wake of Cyclone Winston will be to ensure their infrastructure is intact.
Significant numbers of customers have had interruptions in one way or another. But a very common interruption from the cyclone has been dishes that need readjusting on roofs that may be missing, but sort of, at worst case, but may need a part or there's some damage. So there's actually a huge amount of work to do now for Fbctv and Sky Pacific.
With the acquisition of Sky Pacific now finalised, just how competitive this new television player can be is expected to take shape over the next coming weeks. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
A late-night fire destroyed the Telecom Fiji Limited workshop and a lean-to house at Vakama Suasua Industrial Subdivision in Labasa last night. NFA Labasa responded at about 11 p.m. but found the timber and steel workshop and the corrugated iron and timber house well engulfed. The fire also threatened several other businesses in the industrial area but was contained by the NFA. TFL employees and family who live nearby were able to get out safely. The NFA is trying to ascertain the cause of the fire. And on that note, it's Sports Now. Here's Jamie with all the very latest.
Good Jackie, and good evening. In sports after the break, Fiji Warriors win first match. And William Ryder is still determined for a place in the national side. This and more coming up.
मैं उरियान खान कुर्बो तालेबू के जैसे फेस्टिवल एग्रेट है कुर्बो में उसी तरह मिर्ची एफएम नंबर 1 है कुर्बो में
एलिन लटका में मिर्ची एफएम को लॉक कर दिया जाए मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट
हम नकाशी से साइमान है हमारा फेस्टिवल जैसे नंबर 1 है वैसे मिर्ची एफएम नंबर 1 है
माय नेम इज दिनेश हम नैंडी में काम करता है स्लीपिंग जायंट जिपलाइन में और मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट आई लाइक इट
मिर्ची एफएम इट्स हॉट
Welcome back. First up in sports tonight, the TFL Fiji Warriors defeated Samoa A 34-6 in its opening match of the World Rugby Pacific Challenge in Suva last night. Played in front of a good band of supporters and under a trial point scoring system, the Warriors showed a lot of grit to win handsomely. Rohit Deo tells us more.
Masi, he breaks away there, 5 meters away from the try line. This is coming, a dive from Fiji, and the try.
The Senirusi Servakula coached Warriors put in a polished performance to kickstart his 2016 Pacific Challenge campaign on a high.
Picks it up over the 22, Henry Seniloli, first touch of the ball. Henry Seniloli goes in the corner and scores the try. Well,
we took out a lot of lesson from it. It was a tough game. It was a tough game last night, and also it was a first game for the boys. Their last game was around last year from the Skipper Cup and the Fairbrand.
It's there for Fiji, picked up, and the try is there for Vasikali Mundu.
Victory in the first match, now a thing of the past. Concentration turns towards the second match on Saturday against fellow round 1 winners Junior Japan.
The try line, the forwards working hard, good work. Seniloli waiting for it. Randrondro picks it up. Referee says that's a forward, that's a penalty try. So a penalty try for Fiji.
The Japanese, they always bring the under-20s, but this year they've changed it. They're bringing some of the top players in the top clubs. So it's going to be a good challenge for us. And tomorrow we're going to preview their game against Tonga.
And over the 22, he slows down, he gets caught, looks for support.
The Warriors coach also thanked the fans for a big turnout yesterday.
Dives over there.
Oh, the fans, yeah. We expected the fans to come out in numbers, especially we've just finished the couple of weeks away from the cyclone, and that's why the Fiji Rugby Union is putting free admission to the ground.
Fiji Warriors play Junior Japan at 6 p.m. at Suva's ANZ Stadium. Ryder, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, competition in the Pacific Challenge has also given local fans a glimpse of World Rugby's new trial laws. The trial point system sees a try earn 6 points, 2 points for conversion and a penalty, while a penalty try will earn a straight 8 points without the need to kick the conversion. Other changes have been made to promote player welfare, law simplification and enhance spectator experience. Apart from the Pacific Challenge, there will be other competitions which will trial the new laws, such as the Under-20 Trophy and Nations Cup later in the year. Vodafone Fiji Sevens rep Tasa Veramalua has become a beacon of light within the team in recent tournaments. The towering forward shone bright in the Las Vegas Sevens last week to win the DHL Impact Player of the Tournament for achieving some impressive statistics. Veramalua is expected to play a leading role in the team in the inaugural Vancouver Sevens this weekend. The Vancouver Sevens kicks off on Sunday and Fiji's first match is against Samoa at 6:14 a.m. And remember, you can watch the entire tournament live on FBCtv. Former national rep William Ryder has not given up on his dream to play for the Vodafone Fiji Sevens team again. Having played for the Red Rock team at the Fiji Bailey's Coral Coast Sevens earlier this year, Ryder is trying his best to get national coach Ben Ryan's attention. Josephine Navula has more.
William Ryder has only one goal, and that is to twinkle-toe his way back to the national sevens team.
For me, it's I need to have something bigger than what I had before, like a good contract, so I can like have my family happy, and well, not even only my family, but the whole country of Fiji. Like without a gold medal, nothing we can be happy like.
Following his brush with the law last year that saw him spending 3 months at the Labasa Corrections Facility, the 33-year-old says he is back and more determined to put the ills of his past behind him.
I thank them for giving me the chance to move on and try and get back to the standard that like everyone needs to know me. And I thank my family for everything. Like they're supporting me, they give me, sending me everything that I need.
Westfield Dragons coach Epeli Langiloa has commended Ryder for not giving up.
Coming back, and before that, I salute him for for his decision.
The hope for William Ryder is that the hard work pitched in now will go a long way in realizing his dream of returning to the international sevens arena. Josephine Navula, FBC Sports.
Crusaders winger Nemani Nandolo is in the country helping with the distribution of relief items to places affected by Tropical Cyclone Winston. The Crusaders are on a bye this week in Super Rugby, and Nandolo jetted back home to lend a hand with relief efforts. Nandolo was helping relief workers distribute food and items in Raki and parts of the interior of Ra yesterday. Today he continued his journey with aid workers to the island of Ovalau. Nandolo put up his Crusaders jersey for auction prior to the team's season opening match against the Chiefs 2 weeks ago and raised $1,934. There will be no changes to the dates for the Coca-Cola Games in Suva next month. The Fiji Secondary Schools Athletics Association has been receiving a lot of queries from schools around the country, and organizers say they will be keeping close tabs on those which have been severely affected by Tropical Cyclone Winston.
People asked me whether we're going to be moving the games by another week or so. That is going to happen only if the ministry decides we had an extra week to term one. But as it is, there are no changes. We are still going ahead with the end of the term competition.
The Coke Games will be held at the NZ Stadium on April 22nd and 23rd. The Kundan Singh Open Chess Championship will be held this Sunday. The tournament had been deferred by 3 weeks due to the unfortunate events of Cyclone Winston, but Fiji Chess Federation is now hopeful that people will come out in numbers this weekend. The tournament will also mark the return to competition for candidate master and defending champion Kelvin Prasad after a lapse of 8 months. Fiji Chess Federation will in the next few weeks announce a short list of top local players in the men's and women's teams for the 42nd World Chess Olympiad in September in Baku, Azerbaijan. That is your sports for this evening. It's back to Jackie now with business.
The Fiji Broadcasting Corporation suffered extensive damage to almost all its transmitter sites in the Western and Northern Division following Tropical Cyclone Winston. Damage includes broken transmitters and technical equipment, and this has affected television and radio coverage to parts of Fiji. FBC Chief Executive Officer Riyaz Said Qayyum says there have been multiple losses which the company has to cover for.
We're looking at possibly $1 million and more and counting, because the costs relate to not just equipment but also lost airtime, which has a value because that's what we sell as broadcasters. We sell airtime, and lost business, man hours, repairs, maintenance, buying of equipment.
Said Qayyum says FBC is working around the clock to restore media coverage in cyclone-affected areas. Fine weather prevailed over the Fiji group today. It was warmer than usual in some places. Nadi peaked at 35 degrees Celsius today, and most other centres weren't far behind. Tomorrow's forecast is for more sunny weather across Fiji. And the further outlook is for Friday. Expect brief showers over the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands, line apart from isolated afternoon or evening showers elsewhere. Easterly winds 15 to 20 knots, moderate to rough seas. And recapping the main stories for tonight. Consumer Watchdog confirms no shortage of locally produced vegetables. More than $10 million paid out in cyclone relief by Fiji National Provident Fund, and Tourism Minister says Fiji is still open for business. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. And now to our weekly poll question. We are asking, will Fiji bounce back from Tropical Cyclone Winston? To answer, visit our FBC website. Send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page, FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spade. Bye for now.
I'm Sarah, I'm from Tafwa, and I love listening to Today FM rocks.
My name is Freddy, I'm from Ganyatong. I listen to Mario on the traffic jam every afternoon.
Hi, my name is Salah, I live in Asinu. Today FM rocks.
My name is Denasa and I'm from Lutoka, and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Hulamila, I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM, it rocks in Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM rocks.
We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.